Welcome to Super Unnecessary, where we spend 5 minutes in a sauna with Dan Hooker while the Gopro fucks out.
Fail.
These are the questions everyone's too scared to ask because I'm not.
These are the questions everyone's too afraid to ask.
I'm not afraid.
You're afraid of me.
I'm not afraid of you because you're just like, I don't care. Can't have Jamie Heger here because she is fucking pregnant. You know, you can't like put the pregnant woman in the sauna, so you're unstuck with me. Sorry, bro.
This is quite hot. I'm not gonna lie.
60 degrees.
And climbing. This is a 5-minute interview, and someone dies at the end of it. Yeah. Already tickling what? Nah, you did spark.
Maybe we'll only get 5 minutes.
I don't know. Yeah. Now I feel rushed. I've done a few interviews now, a few like podcasts, and everyone's just like brushed over it. Like they don't want to delve into it. I'm like, you can ask me, like it's alright. We can't just like.
But they have to ask you. You're not like, you know, that's the thing is.
Well, you don't want to talk, like you don't want to. I'm not going to go out of my way to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Stranger in the street. Hey.
I don't mind talking about it.
Do you want to know how my fight went? Like some fucking
random. Yeah, they're like so, and I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Just say it.
How did you feel about the weight cut? You know, like how were you feeling throughout the week and shit? And
like that's what everyone's gonna put it down to. It wasn't. I can tell you, it wasn't. It wasn't the weight. The weight was good. Opponent was good. Camp was good. Training was good. Like weight cut was good, man. Like I did it. I ticked absolutely every box. Like there's absolutely no like that went smooth. Like I sweat out as much as I do at lightweight as I did at feather. Like it wasn't a bad cut or anything like that. Like I cruised it.
Yeah.
Fight week was good. Like it come down to me. It come down to like I take. Checking it's still on.
Yeah. I'm like, is it women?
I take full responsibility for that fight and for like the recent results, like everything. I take full responsibility for all of it. Like I don't hold blame on the circumstances or anything like that. There's definitely like hindsight's 2020. That's like the funny thing about the whole thing. You know, you go, you do that. Everyone's like on board. Everyone's like, yeah. He's selling it to me. He sold it to me like featherweight hook. He's gonna get it done. And then when you get a result like that, or you like lose in like a fashion like that, everyone kind of takes a step back from you. You're just kind of like left sitting there, and everyone's like,
that was your idea.
They go, I thought you said that, and it's just like, 5 minutes ago it was we. 5 minutes, like a couple of days ago, hey, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done, and then it's just like, hey, but it's just like. That's the funny thing about being through this process so many times and like having the losses and come back for the that's the funny thing about a guy in my position, because I've been in absolutely every position there possibly can be in. So it's definitely it never gets any easier. Like losing never gets any easier. Like it never get, but you obviously learn like a process of dealing with it, like a process of coming back from it, overcoming from it mentally, I'd say. We're starting to sweat now. I'm leaking.
Yeah, bro. Have you watched your fight back?
Nah, I don't need to watch that. I know what went wrong. I know what I did.
Yeah.
I know what I did. For sure. I fought like a cowboy, fought like same thing, same kind of thing. Is that people are like, what was the game? What was the game plan there? What was the game plan there? And it's like, well, I've done that exact same thing in the past. Walked out with the extra 50 grand, and everyone was clapping and cheering, and I didn't hear any complaints from the crowd. Last couple times I did it, you know what I mean? But that's the way fighting like that goes. Fighting like that is like a true 50-50, and that was it's just something that I knew, and I can't really like explain as to why I did it. Like it's just it's obvious he needs to change, but going out there and just trying to take a guy at that level, like trying to just go out there and take the guy's head off is like, it's just immature. You know what I mean? Like it's just like immature, and I feel like it's just arrogant is what it is. I thought, like, I knew of that plan, and I knew that I could get clipped like a couple of times and be like, all right, let's change tact, like be a bit more patient. But yeah, like first shot, didn't see it. Slip 2, come over the top. Like that's all she wrote. She was all autopilot after that. It's just like, so that's just the dance. Like that's just the way fighting goes sometimes, pretty much. So I don't like to go back and watch it would just frustrate me, because I know how silly it was. Like I know how silly it was. There's nothing to watch. Like I know what I did wrong. Ask away, far away.
So, what did you do wrong?
Just so these skills that I've amassed over the last more than a decade fighting professionally. So everything I know, like all the skill and technique that I know and possess, I went like this with it. I screwed it up into like a little ball and fired the shot and just ran out there and teed off, trying to take his head off. Like
the energy must have been pretty, like, you know, going back into that arena. I mean, it was pretty fucking nuts, that whole like fight card. I mean, you know, like the energy of the crowd.
Oh, nothing. I'm like not.
Nah, but like it was kind of nice to get back there.
Cooked it.
Says we're still going.
Yeah, like obviously you could go through and tick the boxes on like things I would change or things I would do differently, but it's like, I think my time machine's broken. Like, if I can borrow your time machine, like, that'll be cool. Your one's broken too. 5 minutes is the answer to our question. GoPro can last 5 minutes in a sauna before you have to put it in the fridge and turn the sauna off. Failed.
We were trying to find a time machine.
Trying to find a time machine. I hope that's still in there, you know. You don't have one, I don't have one, so looks like we're stuck, you know what I mean? It's like after it, I was sitting around with my mate in London, and I just started laughing, because I was just like I was like, after Makachev, I was like, yo, like can't go like that. What? Like, I know whatever went into that, but I was like, can't go like that, you know what I mean? Such a quick, I need to get this back. And then, so I had the shovel when I was digging. Then after the Helen fight, like, I stopped and looked around, and then my hole was twice as deep as when I started. Like, originally my plan was to dig my way out of the hole. And then I realized my hole was twice as deep now, and I was just like, let's put the shovel down, let's just sit, and let's just wait for a ladder, or let's just figure a way out of this, because this current plan and trajectory is not going well. So yeah, I just remember sitting back after that and just like having a, because what do you do, right? Either you laugh or you cry. You got like one option or the other. So I just sat back, had a little giggle to myself, and thought, oh shit.
Yeah. Put the spade down, bro.
Shit. Let's stop digging, because this is going the wrong way. It's one of my life quotes too. No matter how bad you think it's going, life can always get worse.
Yeah.
It's one of my sayings too. I didn't listen to my own sayings.
It's true.
Next question.
Has that changed your plans? Like, you know, do you think that weight division, you're like, nah, fuck it?
Oh, yeah, from like, and that's not, like I'm saying the weight, that wasn't it, right? Yeah. Like I was happy with the weight, happy with the fight. Like I'm in a good fight for me, good position.
It was a great fight.
I don't regret. You're not gonna get me to regret anything, but I don't regret. Like I don't regret that. I should have fought how I'm supposed to. That's like the only thing I regret, the way that I went out there and approached it. And that I don't know, I was maybe just a bit pissed off they made me go that far. Like that definitely rocked me, but at the end of the day, like,
yeah,
it's me
the
fighting
fucking
dumb.
traveling to London and shit was
that was like its own thing. But it wasn't the weight. Like, I don't blame the weight or anything like that. But if I'm in the exact same position in both weight classes, where you have to like go down and fight someone, like you gotta fight someone behind you or something like that. Like, why? I'm not gonna make the extra sacrifice to be in the exact same position.
I mean, strategically, it was a strategic move that, you know, could have panned out, but
could have gone better.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
There's like people come up and they're just like, hey, you know, like that was hard to watch, and I was like, oh, that was hard to watch from your couch on your television. That was hard. That was hard to watch. Oh, be a real shame if you actually had to experience that. Got a saying, unless I came out of here or go in here, you don't get an apology, friend. I apologize to my mother. I apologize to my wife. That's about it. Just sitting here without my spade, really, like just enjoying the view.
Tools down.
Tools down. Tools down. Yeah, like obviously, I'm still so like laser focused on what like I want to achieve and like what I know I'm capable of achieving. Yeah, it's just have to do it at the right time. Like that whole like this fight, the fight before. Like if you go back, it's not been the wisest decision making process, purely just because of like just my impatience. Really, like all of it is like. Just purely due to like my impatience.
Well, I mean, getting locked down and not being able to get a fight, and then, you know, I guess it's quite tricky. So then you're sort of like just gonna take whatever opportunity arises.
That's like another thing. Like I actually physically, like people brag about it, but I just like physically can't like think rationally once you offer me a fight. Like, or you offer me a name and a date and that. Like all I think is like a way to get it done. Like a way that I can get it done. Like I'll get it done one way or another. Like, oh, my arms break. Oh, okay, well, all right, I get the cast off. Like, you know, like you offer me a name and a date. Like that's it. And that's like kind of me with anything. Like once I decide something, it's just very, very difficult to get me to like change tact. You're like sitting there nodding, like, you know, like almost.
Really?
Yeah. Like once the decision's been made, like freight train. Ain't nothing stopping me but this deep ass hole I'm sitting in. That's what's stopping this train. But like it's like the funny thing about it is people are gonna go, oh, what's next? Like who possibly blah 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 blah. Like, and it ain't featherweight. Be like 55 for sure, 55 or 55 at 70. Like there's some fun fights like that. But you look at that list, like people say, oh, but who's gonna fight? You look at that list and you read it top to bottom, and you go, who doesn't anyone else want to fight? That's who I'll fight. So you can go through, look at the rankings at any time. Oh, who are people turning this fights down for? That's what I'm gonna end up with. So it's not even. You look at that list, it's not even has to be like a step back. You know what I mean?
So you haven't really planned out the next 2 years of your career?
That's difficult, like in general to
I mean, probably a lot of fighters do plan their careers, or they have like management and they have like a lot of people like picking and choosing.
That definitely has crossed my mind because you know all of the bad decisions that I have been making, I have been advised against.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like by the people closest to me.
Yeah.
I have been advised against these decisions. We could run it back. We could run it back. Poirier, they said. Oh, yeah. What was that? Like 4 weeks, 4 weeks notice or whatever. And they did say, Sean Shelby did say, if you can't make that, we can push it back. And I said, push it back. Why would I need to push it back? I was like, let's go now. Like, let's fight. Let's fight. You want it tomorrow? Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, so there's some, like, all of, that's when I say, like, that's why I take full responsibility.
We lost all the ones where, you know, you'll double down. Sean shall be saying actually that you don't have to fight Poirier like in 4 fucking weeks, and you're like, no, mate, no.
It was like, we didn't tell us that.
I know.
You didn't tell us. It was your call.
Oh.
Yeah, like all of this is my doing.
Wow.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Nice. But going forward, 55, read that list top to bottom. Ask yourself, who doesn't anyone else want to fight? That's all it'll be.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it'll be. I have a few inklings, but we'll see. I'm sure it's gonna be someone tough. I'm sure it's gonna be someone that gets me right back in the mix. Like they just don't pay me to fight mugs. Like that's just not. I wish they did, you know what I mean? But that's not my role, you know?
Well, you didn't really break down the fight. You're just like, you know, you got
Just
hit and you
in
just
general.
went straight into just...
Didn't even get hit. Like that was like preloaded.
Oh, you were already
Yeah,
like...
It was like so it's like...
So
how
there was
do you
nothing-
like run through like, oh yeah, I fucked this up and then I fucked that up and then I fucked the whole thing up, you know what I mean? But on the same hand, have done it before, been incredibly successful. And that's just why that style of fighting is just very advised against.
Right. Yeah.
You would never advise someone.
Yeah. You'd already decided before you'd like got in there.
Not like fight week or anything like that. Just got to the venue, started warming up, and was just like, yeah, let's chuck that out. Looked down at them, like they strapped them on. And I thought, we're swinging these tonight. Like, let's see, you know, let's see who's tougher.
Okay. What did like Eugene and Twist say to you? Like,
Nah, nothing. Probably
They they go silent, hey?
just
Like
a dumbass.
no
Like,
one.
they knew what it was.
They just give you some space.
They knew what it was. Like, they knew what it was. Probably just sitting there thinking, I come all this way to England for you to just not listen to us anyway. Like, you made me waste all this time on a plane, and then you just didn't listen anyway. You know what I mean? Like, there's no
nothing
need to say that. There's no need to say it. I know. Like, I know what I did.
Did you go out anywhere nice after? Did you have some beers with some people?
Yeah, we just had some like Macca's that night, and then like that's the funny thing about like getting over it. Like people kind of think that you just like kind of chalk the whole experience down, or I don't know what people think that much. Like that you're just like you go into like depression, or you're just like.
I kind of get salty.
Stay in bed. Like the amount of people that say like, man, if that happened to me, I'd never be able to deal with that. I'd never be able to get over that. And it's like, yeah, but you wouldn't get in there anyway. So it's like, of course you wouldn't be able to get over it. You wouldn't do it in the first place. It's a whole different tee off. You know what I mean? But man, you're like obviously upset. You're obviously upset. But like once you figure out like what it was and you chalk it down, and once you... This test is turning out to be just a massive failure.
Yeah.
GoPro and Sauna, bro. We're gonna have to cut like a hole in the glass and chuck it in or something.
We're gonna get like 3 minutes out of this.
It's gonna be a 3-minute podcast.
Is it 3 minutes of pure brilliance?
Yeah, it's pretty brilliant.
One of the best things I ever heard you say was after was it you lost or I lost? One of us lost. And you just looked at us and then you went, well, at least you can walk to the changing room after you lose. I always get taken on a fucking stretcher. And you're like, thanks. Too soon,
Nice,
bro.
nice.
Too soon.
Nah, like, what do you do? You know what I mean? What do you do? You can't like baby someone who's lost.
Like, do you have like an overnight test? Like, okay, I've got this rule, like 2 meals, 1 sleep. You can't make a decision unless you've had 2 meals and a sleep.
Oh yeah. That's not a bad one.
Yeah. So it gives you a bit of time. You like, don't send that shitty email to the boss, you know?
But I even thought, like, I got it and I was like, I was in quarantine. When I got that file, I was in the government quarantine facility testing positive for COVID. So I was like in there. I was like in there with COVID, got the message.
To fight
like,
Alan.
Yo, you want to fight Alan? And
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was just like thinking, this is a terrible idea. And I was thinking this is just a rubbish idea, like the timing, blah, 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 this is not going to work. And then I just typed, yeah, cool. And then sent that. And then so like, I don't know how this is going to go, because in my head, I'd already said, nah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then
you overrode it, like whoever this other fucking person that possesses you.
Yeah.
100%.
He's game. Let's just say that guy. Like, you know how you guys have that like little voice in the back of their head that says like, no, it's not a good idea. Like my one doesn't do that.
There is a bit of you, but then there's this other cunt that comes in and fucking like chokes that guy out and says.
He like leans over and he goes, "Fuck it, let's get this money."
It's like,
he's my guy. Yeah. He's my guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He gets the last say, and he also knows how to type. He goes, Okay, cool. Okay, well,
let's do it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's way too far away. I was thinking that's the whole time I was like at training, like, nah, this is way too far away. I was like sitting on the plane, like, yeah, nah, this is way too far away. And I got there and I was like, yep, this is way too far away.
All those things that I thought.
But then it's like you can't come out and blame anyone for that. You can't come out and be like, oh, like, no. Because you knew the whole time, like it's what you accepted. You accepted it. You can't come out and then just be like, oh, my excuses that I was like you don't get an excuse because you already knew. You know what I mean? It's like there's a fire there, and you're like, oh, that's gonna be hot if I jump in it. And then you put your hand over it and it gets burned. You're like, guys, my hand just got burned. Everyone's gonna go, yeah. You didn't know your hand was gonna get burnt? You hold it over fire? Like, of course, everyone knows. You don't get an excuse. You wasted it. You're an idiot.
Yeah. It was still a good fight, though.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't a good fight.
It was like,
it was a terrible fight.
On paper, it was a good fight. Like, you know, because you just, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know how this is going to go, so...
Yeah. Could have gone a lot better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Could have worked out.
Yeah.
Could have worked out. And that's the game we play.
Yeah.
Fuck it, Chip. I'll see you in Abu Dhabi, baby. Like, so you'll take it. I was like, did I hear the number right? Like, I'll see you in Abu Dhabi, baby. Like, fuck, I'll fight Francis Ngannou for that much money, you know what I mean? Like, I would.
And you'll be like, I'll be there now.
I'll fight anyone for that amount of money, baby. Like, joking.
Well, that would have been pretty fucking desperate.
Yeah. As long as that red light's flashing, I can't tell you the truth, Gob. That red light's flashing, the truth.
Yeah, that's good. No worries.
Stays in here. I am not getting a real job. I tell you right now, everyone's like, what are you going to do next? I am not getting a real job.
What would a real job be?
For me?
Yeah.
Nah.
It sucks.
You can't. It sucks. Fight, coach. I feel like I'm one of those people that will never truly retire. Like, you'll just fight. I will fight as long as they offer me fights. Wherever that may be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, could be here, could be there.
Yeah.
Like 50 years old, and someone says, hey, Dan, we got someone pulled out next week. I'll just be like, oh, well, looks like it's my time to shine, baby. Get off the couch, like, get back out there. So
yeah.
It's a hard one. Gonna have to get dragged out, kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
If they offered me an RDA fight, he's ranked. Yeah. I don't know what he's ranked, but he's ranked higher than me. So it's like, of course I would fight him. I just thought it was a stupid tweet.
Yeah.
Like, that's like essentially what it came down to. I saw him go, oh, anybody. And I read that and I said, well, it's obviously not anybody. There's like 3 people in the world that you would take a fight with. So why don't you just call one of them out? You know what I mean? So I was like, anybody, like, I'll smash your face. And like, so semi like being sarcastic about the whole thing. Like, there's no downside to me from coming out and saying it.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. And then he comes out and he screams, oh no, you're not, and I was like, duh, like, of course you wouldn't. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why don't you just call out one of the 2 people you're gonna accept a fight with? But then even to say that, like, oh no, 2 losses, like, well, Conor McGregor's coming off 2 losses this year, fight him tomorrow.
Exactly.
So it's not the 2 losses thing. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Isn't he the one who pulled out of the Makachev fight?
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, so like, I don't, it's just...
Do me a solid.
Bro, exactly.
I saved your one.
I know. That's what I thought. I was like, has the guy got no fucking memory?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
I didn't forget about that. I was like...
Hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, that could have been you, cunt. Exactly. Like, he didn't... Like, he didn't take that fight, so...
It's not really the ultimate fighting charity. That's how when people are like, oh, someone else fought down to fight you, what do you fight down? And it's like, oh, I'll do him a favor. Like, we're in the game of ultimate favor charity. Like, nah. Like, get yours. That's what it's about. My life is very simple. You know what I mean? My very simple life. I live a very simple life. Just go to the gym, do my thing, come home, and that's it.